So this has to be one of the craziest reasons for why somebody would ever decide to get a second PS5. Here's the story. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. So now I'm here today. Today's topic is actually going to be about, there's actually a funny story. So this was actually during 2020, you know, as you know, like 2020 was back during that time period. Of course, we can't say it on YouTube nowadays, you know, but so this was around the time when, like, you know, the PS5 was, you know, starting to come out. So now, prior to the PS5 even coming out, like, I actually watched the trailer. So the trailer came out and everything, and then, now mind you, like, you know, on the side note, like, I was, if you take a look at my recent video, I kind of mentioned that I wasn't necessarily a fan of, like, the PS4 because I felt like it was somewhat of a step backwards, you know, especially like coming from the PS3. But so once the PS4 was kind of like over with, and then once the PS5 started to, like, you know, make its way out, like, to be honest, I was actually done with PS4. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. Like, well, not even necessarily PS4. Like, I was done with gaming in general because I don't know. I just was, like, so unsatisfied with, like, my experience when it comes to the PS4. Like, it didn't live up to expectations, you know, especially, like, you know, in comparison to the PS3, you know. But it was something about that PS5 trailer. Like, when that PS5 trailer had came out, I was like, oh no, I gotta get it. So it's like, it reshaped my whole, like, line of thought, like my whole line of thinking, you know, because, like I said, I was finished with gaming. Like, it was about to be a wrap. It was the PS5 that kind of, like, pretty much saved, like, my, you know, I guess you could say, like, my love for gaming, you know. So as you guys know, around that time, it was very hard to secure a PS5. Now, I believe, like, the day of the trailer, it was either, like, the day of the trailer or, like, the day, or maybe, like, either a couple of days after, or, like, maybe, like, a month or, like, a couple of weeks or so after the trailer dropped, where pre-orders went live. So, you know, they made it live for people to be able to pre-order it. And, you know, during that time, it was very hard to secure one because, you know, like, everybody and their grandmother was, like, you know, crashing the websites and everything like that, you know, because everybody wanted to be the first. They wanted first dibs on the PS5, which, you know, like I said, I don't blame them, you know. So it took me a very long period of time. Like, I was, like, searching stores that I've never even considered going to. Like, for instance, like, I'm in New York, so like, a store like Sam's Club. Like, Sam's Club, I'm not sure if it's in New York, and if it is in New York, I'm pretty sure it's probably, like, upstate New York or something. But it was just certain, like, you know, stores and, like, companies that, like, you know, it got so bad, like, the search for the PS5, it got so bad to the point where it was like, I was, you know, you just kind of wanted to find any store that could have possibly had it, you know. So now, being that it was so hard to secure, like, there was, like, multiple you know, YouTubers that I would, you know, kind of watch, you know, YouTubers, people that stream. Now, I remember around the time, there was a guy by the name of Jake Randall. I'm not sure if he still makes videos. Every now and then, like, I'll go back to, like, you know, see if he still makes videos. But, like, he actually got lit around the time when, you know, when people were still trying to, like, you know, find, you know, like, a PS5, you know. And then on top of that, and then it kind of didn't really help matters neither. Like, with the PS5 search, when you had all the scalpers, I'm pretty sure y'all remember the scalper era. Like, you know, so every time when something new come out, you know, they always, like, not too far behind. They always lurking in the shadows. So, it took me, so what I did was, the Jake Randall, you know, guy, like, he actually had a YouTube channel. He had a YouTube channel, and, like, his I guess you could say his YouTube channel kind of, like, was predicated on trying to help people secure a PS5. You know, in other systems as well, but, like, being that, like I said, I'm a PlayStation fan, so, like, you know, I was more so, I was there for the PS5, pretty much. So, when that was the case, so it was actually one night, so I kept going to his channel, because, like, you know, he would be live streaming, and then, like, he'll be on the phone, like, calling different, like, you know, I guess you could say, like, different stores just to see, like, when they go live. And, you know, back then, like, you know, during that time, like, they didn't necessarily want to, like, the stores, like, they didn't necessarily want to tell people that they were going to go live with pre-orders, because, like, that pretty much was going to, it was just pretty much like a green light to crash their website, you know. So I was doing that for a couple of weeks, you know, and then eventually, like, I was on, I was on one of his lives. I was just listening to it, and now I was refreshing. Like I kept refreshing. Like I was like Target, Best Buy, like any type of electronic store that you could think of. I was on the app, I was on the website, and I kept refreshing. I was doing like Walmart and everything. So eventually, there came a point where I'm watching this live stream. He's on the phone calling around to different stores and everything like that. And I believe he called Target, if I'm not mistaken. Target. Now I don't live too far from Target. I'm like a 10-minute walk. Well, probably even less than a 10-minute walk away from Target. So, I took and. As I'm listening to him, he was like, "Oh yeah, Target just went live." I believe he said Target just went live, or like he could have been referring to like another store. I wasn't necessarily sure at the time, but like I was kind of just listening to him to kind of like give me motivation to like keep on because I was really, to be honest, like I was kind of fiending for like the PS5. Like I was like, yeah, I need to secure that, So not too long after that, I was able to. Because I was on the Target app, I kept on refreshing, and then once I refreshed it, and then it showed that it was actually available, man, the phone almost fell out of my hand. That's how like, that's how much I was like, kind of like, really wanted it. Like, I really wanted the PS5. So like, once I seen it, I was so in shock to the point where, like I said, like the phone damn near fell out of my hand. So I'm rushing to put all my, like my information in and everything like that, card information. And then once I got the card information in, I got kind of scared because like when I had all my card information in, and then when I clicked like proceed to checkout, place order, like it was kind of like taking long. So I had to keep on like, pressing, and I'm like, oh man, I think they already got it. And like I said, by that point, they was only live with the pre-orders for it. Not even a minute, so it was already like trouble. It was already trouble, like, with the processing portion of like, when you're, placing your order. Now, so eventually I got it. I was able to get it, and then words can't describe how hype I was. Like I jumped up in my room, I was hitting the Dougie, like, and then once that happened, so a friend of mine's, like, we both were kind of doing the same thing around the time. Like, we kind of wanted to, we were trying to get the PS5. And then, I guess it was like the morning of, like, when I was able to, go back and get it, I went to the Target. I went to the Target to get my PS5, and the crazy thing about that is, like, now, mind you, the PS5 was in such high demand around that time to the point where it's like, I don't know, it's like Target was trying to get me caught up. Like, they was trying to get people caught up because, okay, like, we bought the PS5, we purchased the PS5, but see, the thing is, like, they weren't giving people bags, so you had to come with your own bag. Like, so I'm like, oh, y'all really trying to get people jammed up out here, and I remember, I'll never forget it, like, it was raining that day, so I bought a shopping cart with me. I bought like a shopping cart with me, but like I didn't have a bag because I don't know, just me in my mind, I'm thinking like, man, if you purchase an item like that, especially something, like an item that's in high demand, such as a PS5, like at the height, like when it's coming out, you would just think that, they would have enough, decency to actually like supply you with a bag, but sadly they didn't. So I literally had to take the hoodie from off of my back. Like literally, I took the hoodie from off of my back and I had to place it over, like, the shop, like literally I had to place it over the PS5 that was in the shopping cart, Now, another thing that kind of got me a little bit tight too is like when I was actually back on my way, like I was on my way back home. And like I said, it's only it's about a 10-minute walk, but I was on my way home and I'm thinking like, I'm good. Nobody's going to see me with this PS5. Like I'm good. Like I could get home, hook it up and play it. Yeah, some lady, she kind of stopped me. She was like, oh, like, how did you get that? I'm like, damn. I'm like, how did she see it? Like, so that kind of like low-key brought me to a stop. I kind of didn't really want to stop. I kind of just wanted to keep, like, going home because I'm like, man, look, people going crazy for the, for this P5, for these PS5. So I'm like, yeah, let me... I answered a question real fast, like, like I was respectful with it. I was like, yeah, like, you just kind of have to like pre-order it, whenever it's available, but, it's in high demand and everything like that, so that's that. So I get back home, you know, so everything is good with that. Now, my friend that I actually just mentioned earlier in the video, like, so he wasn't able to secure one. You know, he was kind of he was kind of tight because I remember, I'll never forget it. I sent him a picture of it because I didn't speak to him until I got the PS5. Like literally, I didn't speak with him like from that night of me like, you know, continuously like refreshing the page to, you know, see if they went live with the pre-orders. Like I didn't speak to him from that night all the way to, you know, when I got the PS5. Like I remember as soon as I got home, I took a picture of it. And then I sent it to him. You know, but so a couple of months down the line, you know, that same friend, you know, even though he was a little tight about, you know, me getting a PS5 first, like he, you know, he was able to secure one. But I remember, I forgot like I think he said he either went to like either Walmart or like GameStop or something. Like now mind you, this is still during the height, you know, of like it was just hard to like get your hands on a PS5. Now the reason for why I have two PS5s, you know, it's like one of the craziest reasons, like, you know, and it was kind of somewhat of an excuse for me to just buy another one just because, like, you know, so he was telling me, I believe he was in GameStop if I'm not mistaken. He was in GameStop, I think, you know, he went there to, you know, either purchase a game or something like that, and he said just randomly, he just seen some random dude just, you know, walk up, had on a tuxedo. He had on like a little suit, tuxedo, and just walked in and purchased the PS5 like nothing. Now, like I said, that was unheard of during that time period. It's crazy because the PS5, basically like the PS5, like within like the past, I guess you could say 2 years now, it's become like widely like available now. You could actually go online and like it'll actually be available as opposed to like you having to like, you know, reserve a spot, you know, for pre-order. But he told me that, and I don't know, for some reason that rubbed me the wrong way. That rubbed me the wrong way, because like I'm like, I really just had to go through hellfire and brimstone in order to like secure a PS5. And you telling me a dude with a suit on, he probably don't even play games, like a dude with a suit on just walked straight into GameStop at the height of that time period, you know, I'm not gonna say it because it's, you know, it's YouTube, but at the height of that, he walked in without a care in the world, and he was able to purchase a PS5 without a worry. And he was like, yeah, and I'm like, I need a do-over. I need a do-over. So that's exactly what I did. I literally went to the same exact Target. I went to the same exact Target to secure another PS5. And still to this day, that white one, the black one that you see is like that's my main system. But like the white one that you see, that's the secondary one that you know, I was actually going, you know, I tried to like give it to my mom, but you know, she don't really care for games or anything like that, so you know, but I try to come up with a reason for why I got it, knowing damn well the reason for why I got it is just because I wanted to have another one, you know. But yeah, but like I said, like that's actually my story, you know. It's kind of bizarre, like when I think back to it, because I'm like, yo, I really spend money. I really spent more money on another PS5 that, to be honest, that I really didn't even need, you know. But I did it just because I felt like I needed a redo. I don't like how, you know, bro just walked into the store like it was just easy. Like it was just easy for bro. Like he just pulled up, parked, and got him, and literally got him a PS5 in the middle of the, you know what, and without a care in the world, you know. So that was my story, you know. That was actually something that you know, I was just sitting down the other day, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, what? Not even the other day, just recently. I'm thinking like, oh, what could I, you know, now that I just recently started this YouTube, I'm like, you know, what type of videos could I make that's gaming related, you know? And then that one came to mind, so I'm like, yeah, I could tell this one. This is kind of like an entertaining story, you know. But other than that, like, I definitely thank you guys for watching, you know. And like I said, I'll be back soon with another story, or you know, just more like, you know, nostalgia driven content, you know, especially when it comes to video games. All right, so with that being said, everybody take care. Thank you for watching.